Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inspiration Morning Live. I am Christina Crowley, and I am accompanied by Miss Millie, who wants her walk, but will be going out soon. It's colder in the morning, so I make her wait a little longer because I don't like getting super cold. She has her own fur coat on, so she doesn't really care. But, good morning. How are you doing today? I want to say thank you for being here. I am glad that you are here with me. And if you're here with me live, I want to say thank you very much. I really appreciate it to those of you who are able to watch me live. Got a little twitch in my eye, not enough coffee. And those of you who watch me in the replay, thank you so much. I've left my coffee across the room. And I don't know quite what to do, but I want to say thank you for being here. I am doing Inspiration Morning Live number 107, and I am really glad that you are here. I've started taking, part of Mondays off, getting my work done that I a little bit I take all the Sundays off. And, when you work for yourself, there is always work to do. There is always more that you can do. I do try to prioritize it. I do try to, make sure I take off one day. And as long as there's nothing really, really, really pressing, I take that day off. And so, but I've also decided to start taking, my mornings off of Inspiration Morning Live because I really want to be able to dig into my work for the week, and I'm doing some new projects. And that's what brings me to today's topic, is I am doing some new projects. I am, there are some new things that are challenging to me. And I want to talk about those because I was thinking yesterday, I was incredibly frustrated, and I ran across some, I always love quotes and memes, and because those kinds of things get me inspired when I am having trouble, when I am having issues with doing what I do and learning new things. And it brought me to think about, when we start new things, and especially as adults. I know as a kid, I never really thought about new things because you're in school, you're required to learn things, you're being taught things, and you're constantly doing something that teaches you something new. And I can't remember whether I struggled as much as I do as an adult. And I don't know if it's just because I'm an adult and I don't remember, but I know new challenges bring lots of frustration to people. And I ran across a meme yesterday that kind of gave, sit down, Plotzy, Plotzy, Plotzy. When she hears me talking, she's like, she knows it's close to time to go out. Good morning, and thank you for joining me. So new challenges, and we always tend to look for something to make it easier. I know I do. But I think what I've learned, and what I learned yesterday, is repetition is what makes it easier. I know in school, doing our math, doing our times tables, and I go back to something because I remember, it was fall and we were learning our math tables, times tables. My dad sat down at the table with me and taught them to me and taught me ways to remember it. And my dad and I, we learned a lot in the same way. And so it made that new challenge less of an ordeal, less hard to do. And that is how I have to approach new things that I'm doing now. New challenges. I'm building out parts of my website and I'm putting buy buttons on there because I have a bunch of coloring pages, and I have, I'm a creative entrepreneur in some ways, and that's kind of how I'm changing my business a bit. I do SEO, and I find that I really, really enjoy doing that, but I really enjoy being creative. And I'm putting buy buttons out. I'm doing more things with my list. And I sent out something yesterday, and there was a glaring typo that I sent out to my list. And I didn't see it when I sent myself the test email. And so I sent it out, and, I realized that, this is a new challenge, and those kinds of things are going to happen. And they do happen to most of us. And, today my email that I sent to my list, I'm probably going to make a little fun of myself for not seeing that. Because being a creative entrepreneur and making coloring pages and things like that for grown-ups, I don't have to per se, type out an email as much to strangers. I do talk to you guys every day. Some of you I know, and a lot of you I don't, but it is the culmination of this new challenge, and it is the repetition. Oh, sorry, I got a little frog in my nose. That will help me. Yeah, I've got my allergies going on. Good morning, hello, and thank you for joining me. It is repetition that helps make it easy for us. I know that for me, also changing my frame of mind, whereas I can't do this. Well, I need to just do it a few times to decide whether I really can't do it. I need to work through the process of doing things that may be difficult at first for me. And remember that, when I was a kid, it was repetition. It was doing things time and time again. But it was also my mindset. My mindset was, I can do this. I can figure it out. When we look at our friends and our coworkers as they could do this, well, maybe they can teach me. Maybe that's something for us to think about. Maybe they can show me how they do it rather than, oh, they can do it, but I can't. We've got to support ourselves in these new challenges, support ourselves in doing things that are new. I've talked about this before, and it is one of the things that comes up in life over and over and over again. But new challenges are going to be there every day. And if we're regular growing people who look into new things and are excited about, all that comes around in the world, then we're going to run into these kinds of things. And for me, I don't want to say, no, I can't do this, and maybe miss out on something fun and wonderful and something that I've wanted to do for years and years and years, but God could put on hold. Now is my time to do this, and I don't want to give up. So with these new challenges, I'm going to figure out an order of doing things, and I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to get overwhelmed. And when I get overwhelmed, I take some deep breaths and I tell myself, I can do this. I can. And doing things the first time is always difficult. Doing things the first time, think of, first children, your first child. They are much harder than me being number 8. I know that I could juggle knives, and my parents were like, we know where the hospital is. And that's just a euphemism. That is not really what happened, but it was just more like they knew that I was going to be okay. They weren't as worried about me as they were my oldest sister, who gave them a really hard first year. I know that, when I drove a car the first time, when my sisters and my dad was teaching me how to drive, driving the first few times was difficult. And now that I've driven for, 3 decades, I'm going probably into my 4th decade of driving. It's much easier. It is so much easier. And that your mind is used to the tasks. And it's about our brain learning. I know John Azaroff has had his brain-a-thon over the past few weekends. He had to repeat it last weekend because the weekend before was so successful. Our brain does create the connections. And, Stephen Pressfield, in his book, The War of Art, he tells us to push through that real hard thing. Don't stop. Don't get up. Don't go take a break. Push through and get her done. And then everything can open up to you. And when I'm having trouble, when I am working on a new challenge that is difficult for me, it is hard for me to stay there and sit and take a few deep breaths and then push on. But that's what I do, because getting through things the first time is what I need to do. The first time of anything is difficult. Like I said before, parenting, first day of school, driving, there's all kinds of things you can think of in your life that when you tried the first time, it wasn't easy. I know for me in computers, when I worked on computers for the first time many, many years ago, it was difficult. I did not know what I was doing. And now I don't know everything that I'm doing, but I know a lot. And I can learn more. As humans, we can learn our entire lives. And it is something that I'm very grateful for. And I also turn to being grateful. I am grateful that I have this challenge, that I am so lucky to have this challenge. It is, challenges can be frustrating. They can be so frustrating. And yesterday was a crazy frustrating day for me and my new challenges. Um, there were lots of things going on. There were many things that were interrupting my work and stopping me from doing this. But I knew to push on. I knew that what I needed to do was the repetition to get through this first task. And I remembered that, book and that what Stephen Pressfield teaches in The War of Art is to push through the resistance. Sometimes it is just resistance, pushing you back, trying to keep things within the status quo. But when you push through it, it gives you the chance to fulfill what you want in your life. And I think that's what's truly important for us. Think about the times in your life when, you got through something and looked through the other end. I know Halloween's coming up and sometimes it's scary. And, but, I think of it, life as kind of sometimes a fun house. You know it's going to be fun. It's going to be scary, but you're going to get to the end. And that's something, I remember going to the fun house is the only thing like at the carnival that I was really willing to do because the rides really make me sick. And they still do to this day. But I would go through the fun house and I knew that things would scare me. And I knew that I would laugh at some things. I would laugh at other people being scared. And I think we did one, Teresa and I did one in Las Vegas. I remember the last time that's the last time I did a fun house. And it was fun. It was fun being scared. It was fun, with that safe scaredness. I think it is kind of a metaphor for life, is at times you're going to be a little scared, but you push on and go through and you're going to look back and go, gosh, that was fun. And you're going to push on a little more and you're going to be a little more scared. And you're going to get surprised. And then you're going to push on a little more. I think, with the season, it brings up a lot of these memories for me. And they're happy memories. And I want to say, when you have a new challenge and you think you can't do it, push through. It's partially resistance. And it's partially that sometimes things the first time are difficult. Doing things even the second time, the first few times. And I think that's what I put in the description for today's talk is that sometimes doing things the first few times is just difficult. And that's okay. And it's really, it's a good thing. Because if everything were easy, everybody would do it. And, and I think everybody should be successful, but we all do things in our own different way. But I think we all need to be scared every now and then, to be relieved, when that, spookedness comes over and look back and go, that was good. That was fun. I can do this. I can keep on doing this. Alrighty. So my coffee's on the other side of the room and I keep wanting to sip a coffee because it is a 2-cup a day for me. It really is. And I hope that, those of you who are watching, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a wonderful fall morning. If you're on the Northern Hemisphere, a wonderful spring morning. If you're on the Southern Hemisphere, I know there are a few of you. And I want to say thank you for watching this. I really do appreciate those of you who are here and those of you who watch. I wouldn't have done 107 of these if there weren't many of you who watch this. And I do think it's wonderful. I do say thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate those. And, let me know what you think. Let me know what you want me to talk more about. I know my shirt is always crooked. And, I just don't care. That's kind of the way I am, a little off kilter. I'm a little off center of those, but let me know what you think. Feel free to put comments in the comments of Facebook. I really do read those and I like to respond to those, and I do thank you for doing those. And like I said, I like the thumbs up. I like the hearts. I appreciate those. And if there's anything that you want me to talk about, please feel free to let me know that also. I want you to have a great day. With Halloween coming up, let's all have some fun. And let's go ahead and work through those new challenges. What are the new challenges in your life? What can you think differently about with those new challenges to give yourself that confidence to push through? Can it be just letting yourself know that resistance is always going to be there? That new things might always be a little bit difficult at first, but you can do it. You can push through. And I know that I will too. I know that, with my new project on my website, I will push through. I will be able to do this. I can do it. Maybe a little frustrating along the way. It may not turn out exactly as I want the first few times, but as long as I persist and I'm willing to play with it, I'm willing to take some chances, things will work out. Things aren't going to be 100% perfect on it. It will be a work in progress. And I think with all new things, we have to think of them as works in progress. Alrighty, so I want to say thank you for joining me. Went a little late this morning, got a little involved in a project, and that's also what added to this talk today is, take those new challenges and enjoy them, do them. I really do appreciate you being here. And I want to say thank you for joining me on this Inspiration Morning Live. And I look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.